So Google, whose slogan used to be "Do No Evil" or something along those lines, they are helping China with some censorship programs. And there's a good chance, they're basically saying, yeah, we'll help you censor on our search engine. And there's a good chance they're taking notes on what to do here. Let's be honest. There's a good chance they're taking notes on what to do here. We've made it clear that we're okay with Silicon Valley censorship. We're okay with it. I mean, not us, the people on this stream, but we, the United States as a whole. Because it happened to a bad guy. It happened to Alex Jones. So it's okay when it happens to a bad guy. And you know what? I feel the same way about Alex Jones I do about Donald Trump. I don't like Alex Jones, but I'm not going to let my dislike of him steal my critical thinking skills. World's leading human rights groups tell Google to cancel its China censorship plan. Yeah, the rest of the world knows this is bad. It's interesting how the rest of the world, they know this is bad. All right, leading human rights groups are calling on Google to cancel its plan to launch a censored version of its search engine in China. Say that 5 times fast. Censored version of its search engine in China. That's not meant to be read out loud. It's just not. Which they said would violate the freedom of expression and privacy rights of millions of internet users in this country. A coalition of 14 organizations, including Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Reporters Without Borders, Access Now, the Committee to Protect Journalists, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the Center for Democracy and Technology, PEN International, and Human Rights in China issued the demand Tuesday in an open letter addressed to the internet giant CEO, Sundar Pichai. The group said that the censored search engine represents an alarming capitulation by Google on human rights and could result in the company directly contributing to or becoming complicit in human rights violations. That's right, they start in China. Where do they end? Nobody knows. Google had launched a censored search engine in China in 2006. They ceased operating the service in the country in 2010, citing Chinese government efforts to limit free speech, block websites, and hack Google's computer systems. So the letter calls on Google to explain the steps it has taken. And how is it going to safeguard against human rights violations? Because it occurred the first time. Why won't it occur again? And furthermore, I would want to know, why did Google agree to this in the first place? And again, there's a link here, again, to everything that's going on with free speech on the internet related to Russiagate. When you find a handful of internet trolls as the scapegoat in a political campaign, which I think everybody watching the stream knows what a joke that is. That a handful of Facebook memes in broken English, some which were seen after the election, brought down a campaign. One of the most expensive campaigns in the history of American politics. It is not even worthy of an Onion headline. Yet we entertain this fantasy on a daily basis. So Google has not yet issued a public statement about the China censorship, saying only that it will not address speculation about future plans. That's good. That's good. We're not going to tell you what else we want to do. We are voluntarily aiding censorship in China. We're not going to tell you what we're going to do next. It is not only the journalists that Google has ignored in the wake of the revelations. Getting back to the article, Amnesty International researchers told The Intercept they set up a phone call with the company to discuss concerns about Dragonfly, but they were stonewalled by members of Google's human rights policy team, who said they would not talk about leaks of information related to the Chinese censorship. Google is a member of the Global Network Initiative, or GNI, a digital rights organization that works with a coalition of companies, human rights groups, and academics. All members of the GNI agree to implement a set of principles on freedom of expression and privacy, which appear to prohibit complicity in the sort of broad censorship that is widespread in China. Following the revelations about Dragonfly, sources said members of the GNI's board of directors, which includes representatives from Human Rights Watch, confronted Google representatives, but the Google officials were non-responsive. We're aiding censorship in China. We don't have to give you any peace of mind. We don't have to tell you about our future plans. Why? Because people decided that our corporate personhood is more important than the greater good. That's what the general public has decided. They've decided that. Google. Their corporate personhood, more important than the greater good. They don't have to tell you anything. They can do what they want in China. They're a private company, right? Right? They're a private company. That's why it's okay when Facebook censors Alex Jones by implementing a vague terms of conditions. It's okay because Alex Jones is a jerk and they're a private company. It doesn't matter that, well, because they can do that, they can implement that to anything. And they have. They've done it to anti-war websites. They've done it to peace groups. They've done it to radical journalists. That's all happened. It's continuing to happen because that was the test. But everybody is blinded just because it happened to a bad guy. And yes, Alex Jones is a bad guy. If Alex Jones was found guilty of violating the First Amendment, if he was found guilty in a court of law of violating free speech laws, that's different. Then in that case, yeah, he should be removed from Facebook. That's totally different. But again, let a court of law decide that. Facebook should be required to follow the rules, the free speech laws in our country. So should Google. Why? Because they are the online town squares. They are bigger than a private company at this point. They are essential to us exchanging information. So yes, when you get to the size of them, they should have to follow free speech laws. And I know that there are not laws intact for that yet. The law has not caught up to technology. The law is behind technology in this case. But that's what we need. Because now Google is censoring in China. And then why are they doing this? Why would they do this if they didn't have plans to expand it? I mean, it just doesn't... It makes no rational sense. They failed at this before. They tried it in 2006. They failed at it. Had to end it in 2010. Why are they doing it again? Because we live in a hyper-Orwellian time. So if you think something like this isn't going to come to the United States, I envy you. I don't see how you can't be concerned about that. Thank you for sharing that article, Mike. That's a really good one.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your